close my eyes, I see flashing lights and we're not alone. Are you alright on the other side? I can feel you close. I feel alive, hear the drums get high and the bass down low.
This year I've been wanting to get in front of the camera a little bit more. I'm typically behind the camera, either doing photo or video work for other brands. And this year I just made it a goal for myself to start getting in front of the camera a little bit more and talking more on camera. So I put up a story last night on my Instagram doing a Q&A just to see if anybody had questions about setting up our brand Honey Swim. And we've been in business for about 1.5 years now, and I've gotten a lot of questions over time about how we started and how we maintain certain things. One of the first questions I got was how we started Honey Swim. So for those who don't know, we own a swimwear brand called Honey Swim, and it's me, my wife, and our 2 best friends, Lucas and Brinley. So it's the 4 of us that started the business. And so the way it started, honestly, I was doing a photo shoot for another brand, and Lucas and I were walking back from the shoot, and we were just talking back and forth. And Lucas asked me, he's like, do you even like shooting for other brands and whatnot? And I said, I really enjoyed it. I love doing what I do. But I told him that I feel like I just have enough knowledge about branding, photos, and videos that I could put my energy in my own company, make that grow bigger than what I could do in a single year by myself. Just because I can only physically shoot so many companies every year. So I felt like we all had this knowledge to put into a brand that could grow bigger than anything that we were doing on our own. That being said, we thought about what we want out of the company, and really the 2 goals for us was building community with the company, and then also being able to gain memories and experience from it, and that being traveling. We looked at what Mary Margaret and Brinley do as influencers and saw that there was a few other brands that consistently worked with them on partnerships, and we could see the affiliate sales that they were getting through that. And then we kind of figured out that swimwear was the perfect product to sell that would allow all 4 of us to travel, and the price point was perfect for that consumer that was a part of their audience. So that's how Honey Swim started. And then this ties into the second question I got, that was somebody asked how much capital you need to start a business. I'm sure it's different for everybody, but the 4 of us went in together and we each put in our own amount of money. It's 2 sets of couples, so it was really 2 and 2, but the 4 of us all put in our own money. We all bootstrapped Honey Swim, so we had no outside loans from friends or family or banks or anything like that. And I want to say we started with just under $8,000 for our first launch and everything. So we put in our first PO. We weren't scrambling or anything necessarily. We were just trying to figure out what the process was like to get fit samples, come up with designs, and figure out that the girls were satisfied with the quality of the bathing suits, because that was a huge thing, is that they didn't want to sell stuff to their audience that wasn't something they'd actually buy on their own. Sorry, I just took off the filter real quick. Another question was, what were the biggest challenges you faced in our first year of business? Honestly, was the timing of our launch. We really had everything ready to go, but everything kind of was set for launch at the end of summer. And so we only really had July and the first part of August before people started going back to school. So I think that was our first challenge, that we launched kind of late into the season, but we knew we wanted to kind of get it out because we were teasing it so much. And I'm glad we did, because the first collection we launched sold out within a few days, which was insane to see. And I think that created this spark and fire underneath the brand that all of our customers got really excited to see what was happening. And I think that gave us an opportunity to buy a little bit more time, because we were going into our off season. So then we kind of had this trial run where we launched our first collection. It sold out, but then we kind of went back to the drawing board and we're okay, what worked out of this collection? Why did it work? And we were basically just taking notes the whole time to figure out, okay, in 2024, what can we do that basically replicates what we just did on a larger scale, so that each collection we do was bigger and bigger. And so I think that was our biggest challenge up front. I'd say right now, after our first full season run, I think one of our challenges right now is building and finalizing all of our systems for business, so that as we bring more employees on and different people aboard, that we have all of our standard procedures laid out, so that these new hires come in, they know what's going on, and then our existing employees can move up to a management role and sort of like do a little bit more delegating and less like heads in the weeds kind of thing. So I think that's our current challenge, is just figuring out more, ironing out all of our systems and stuff. So someone asked what platform we use to sell on. Currently we use Shopify. I feel like that's the best thing to use. I've worked in the back end of like Magento and some other platforms before, and they're never really that seamless. And so we've always used Shopify. We did pay for one of the like more premium themes to help us sort of like customize a little bit more. I think paying for the theme when you got to a certain scale helped us a lot, because it just allowed you to customize everything to fit your brand and the speed of the website. So we use Shopify mainly. Sorry, I'm looking down at an iPad right now to get all these questions. Okay, this is an interesting one. What strategy did we use for creating a high converting product page? I've actually talked a lot about this with one of our friends, Preston. They had a business called Postcards, and it was a candle company. Whenever we're together, we always talk about branding and how to like optimize basically. And one of the things that we always talked about was usually most of the time on social media, especially for us, like influencers and girls are linking straight to our product page and not always the homepage. And with that, we're like, okay, like if they never saw our homepage once, like they need to be able to understand like, A, we're trustworthy, B, the product's high quality, and C, that like everything feels professional and doesn't look like a scammy dropshipping website. One of the things I try to do when building the website out was showcasing the product really high quality, showing it in different environments. So like now our strategy is we always have a studio image to show the color of the product, but now we're trying to make sure that we always incorporate some like lifestyle images, because most of the girls buying our products are coming off Instagram or coming off TikTok, and so they're used to that format. And so we want to make sure that we actually showcase the products in content that is relatable to them, and sometimes that's not always like really high quality e-commerce photos. So we're trying to add more of that into our product listings this year. Reviews are really important. I think girls seeing other girls talk about the products or other customers talk about it kind of helps them push over the edge a little bit to end up purchasing and feel comfortable doing it. I've seen a lot of brands really like add so much to their product page, which I think can be useful depending on the product, but I think sometimes also it's really easy to just like keep it pretty simple, straight to the point. Somebody asked, what roles do ads play in driving traffic and sales to our company? I think that's a super important question. We've been talking a lot about that this year. I think this is really interesting today too, because TikTok was banned today, but it actually came back earlier this afternoon. So I think that was an interesting lesson to like diversify your marketing strategy. We really use a lot of Facebook ads, but we're starting to delve into Pinterest and TikTok and Google just to like diversify everything. Because I think if you lean too heavy into one sales channel, like Facebook, for example, or Meta, you could solely rely on Facebook ads like crushing for you. And then like what happened with TikTok, that it just kind of goes dark, and now you've lost this massive influx in like revenue generator for your business. So we all saw this and all have started talking more about like what are ways that we can diversify all this sort of stuff. And some of those things can just be like changing to different platforms, like utilizing Pinterest, utilizing TikTok now that it's back, even using old marketing tactics like physical in real life community events. I think that's going to be a big trend this coming year in 2025 of just like having more in-person events. But I think overall ads play a big role in traffic and sales, obviously, but also at the same time, you have to be smart about how you use them, because if you don't diversify how you use ads, it can kind of bite you in the butt a little bit, especially if you do it year over year and you're like expecting that revenue to come from that area. So that's one of our goals, is to always kind of keep a healthy balance of like having organic sales, having paid media help with sales and whatnot, but ads definitely help grow businesses for sure. So it's not like you don't want to use them, it's just how you use them. I like this one because I come from like the background of shooting photos and videos for other brands, and the question was, what's the importance of shooting high quality content while building a brand? So many brands rely on UGC content, which it makes sense because UGC content performs really well. But I think building a brand that lasts, I think you need a blend of high quality and user generated content, because I think when you scale a company to get bigger and bigger, if their only reference is UGC content, there's nothing that you'll kind of be like remembered by necessarily by having like visual cues or a visual style. When I shoot stuff for Honey, I always try to have like a specific feel for every collection or just like overall the brand. I like to blend the two really well because I just think if you don't have any high quality content for a brand, it gets really hard to like build your branding, build your website, but also like I think it helps target another audience as well that maybe used to seeing that sort of stuff. I'm a believer in shooting high quality content, but I also recognize that I think it needs to be a blend of mixing like iPhone content with the high quality stuff because I think it helps build a larger look and feel for your brand. Okay, this question's a little bit more specific. It's from one of my friends, John. He was asking how we handle inventory. One of the things when we started Honey Swim was that we knew we didn't want to necessarily handle fulfilling the orders because we wanted to focus more on branding and growing the company. I know a lot of founders start off doing their own fulfillment. And there's times where we wish we did because we could create a lot more content around like packaging orders and whatnot. We knew because everybody else was also doing other jobs. The girls were doing influencing. I was doing photo and video shoots for other brands. And then also Lucas was working for his other company he has. We knew that that was just like unrealistic, even though we wanted to do it. So what we looked into was a 3PL partner, and it's not drop shipping. It's actually like a warehouse based in the US that syncs into our Shopify. They receive our orders and work with us. The one we use is called Pietra. They're based out of North Carolina. They've been with us since the beginning and they've been really awesome with working with us and scaling with us as we grow. But we just knew that the 3PL was a better move for us right now because we just didn't have enough time to put our hands into it. I think at some point as we scale, it might be more cost effective to move into our own warehouse, but right now it just doesn't make sense time-wise for us to try to carry that on with also doing a bunch of other things. Okay, and the last question I got was from somebody on Instagram as well that said what was the top 3 lessons to be learned when starting your own brand or launching your own brand? I'd say the first lesson is you're gonna have to get over the hump of trying to perfect everything. Lucas and I are both kind of like perfectionists when it comes to stuff like this, but I had to kind of put that aside and get as much out as I could with launch. I knew from hearing from other people and talking to other business owners that it's better to start and tweak as you go instead of waiting and then never launching the company. So I think the first lesson is just like put that aside and know that even a month into launch, 2 months, a year from now, you're always going to be tweaking stuff. So you might as well just start now. I'd say that that's the biggest lesson with like kind of every avenue of the business. And then the second lesson I would say is it's definitely hard. Like just realize that whenever you start a brand, no matter what it is, no matter what product, it's always going to have hard times and really great times. And so I think if you're cut out for it and you're recognizing that like you'll have nights where you stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning, or you'll have times where you just feel like nothing's working and you feel like you just want to throw the towel in, but it'll end up working out. You just have to trust the process and like let things play out and learn from what happens. Because I don't think any business is easy off the gate unless you have some like crazy money behind it or marketing budget behind it. But I think if you're bootstrapping your own business, especially e-com, you just have to realize that it's harder than it looks and it takes time to perfect things. But just getting started and tweaking things as you go is how you'll get it off the ground and just learn from stuff. And then the third thing I'd say is don't be scared to invest more money into your business. I feel like a lot of people get scared to like spend $1,000 or spend $2,000 to like buy something or do something for their business, because I guess it's because they can't see the full result of it. But it's very easy for them to go buy like a brand new phone or a brand new wallet or purse for $1,000, $2,000 and just feel like, oh, I got something out of it. But that'd be my third tip, is to invest in yourself and invest in your company, because I feel like it might not happen like right then and there, but in a year from now, 2 years, like you're gonna be really happy that you spent that money on perfecting something, or paying money for that photo shoot, or paying money to test Facebook ads, because that could be the thing that sparks your company's sales. It took me time to see that, and everybody on our team helped kind of like make me realize that, like, because the return is there, it just might not be instant. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the video there, but this is my first crack at the YouTube video, so I'm still learning to talk in front of the camera and kind of get out there a little bit more. But If any of this stuff interests you guys, I can make some more videos because there's a lot more questions. But yeah, if you guys like this kind of video, let me know. And I'm hoping to make some more of this sort of content, and I'll see you guys later.